Again, good evening to my fellow Filipinos out there. I know it's a holiday for some of you, so good evening and thank you so much for spending time with me and supporting my live session today. And I'll be talking about the virtual assistant tools that are free to use. So yeah, thank you. And in a short while, I will have a video intro just to formalize everything. Alright, so sorry for the delayed transition. It's hard to be a one-man team. Anyway, okay, let's start. Now, this live video is not just for virtual assistants, but also for online service providers and also for our fellow online entrepreneurs. Now, before we start, I highly encourage to turn off any distractions, notifications from your social media, messaging, email, and anything. For those people who are watching this later or in another time zone, so good morning or good afternoon to you. So before we start, yes, please kindly turn off any notifications. And of course, I want you to close any apps or tabs you're not using right now, because I want you to be here with me to listen and pay close attention and comment if I ask you to. And because I want you to be present here with me. So, what to expect on this live session? First, of course, is a short introduction, because I'm not sure if there are new visitors or viewers here today watching this video. So I will introduce myself for a short while, and then I will have some tools. I will share with you why tools are important, and I will share tools that are mostly free. And then for the last section, we will have some Q&A. So, short introduction. Again, my name is Connie Zabala, and right now I am a YouTube content creator. As you can see, I'm doing this live session every month, and I started as a VA since 2011, and now I niche down and offer my services as a YouTube strategist and video editor. Now, I'm sharing these tools that I learned not just from my experience, but from fellow virtual assistants and also from clients. Alright, so next slide. Now, if you will notice, I am speaking in English here, not because I'm fluent or I'm boasting or anything. I just want to challenge myself and the people I interview in this channel, because I interview fellow virtual assistants and I requested them to speak in English because I want to build more confidence and be more comfortable in conversational English. So I hope you will support me and not get tired of listening and watching me. And second reason is I want to speak to non-Filipino audience, or to those people who are not familiar with Filipino or Tagalog. And then this is my channel's premise and unique offer, since there are already many creators that are sharing contents in Taglish in a combination of English and Filipino. I decided to speak in English so I won't have to, do the captions and translate everything that I need to say. Alright, so with that said, I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. And thank you, as always, for supporting me. Now, why we have to use these tools? First, it's not because we want to miss some tasks, but because to make our tasks a lot easier and we can be more efficient, and that our time is spent more on more important things, right? If we can automate some of our tasks, why not try it, right? And then second reason is to make these projects, these tasks organized. Now, the tools that I will be sharing with you are tools that some of them are requested by some people, like pre, on, and post boarding. And these tools are also good for general VAs, email or writer VA, social media VA, and for those who chose to do graphic design, and also for video editor and YouTube strategies. Now, I have to pause for a while just to check your comments. Okay, since my camera has some problems, I would probably share my slides alone, as long as you can hear me. Is that alright? Can you still hear me until now? Can you hear me now, even if I don't show my face? If you can still hear me now, that's okay. I will continue without my camera. The camera is not working with me today. Alright, so since you can still hear me and you can still see my slides, but we'll continue, alright? So, take note though, I'm so sorry. Take note though that I am only sharing tools today, and there won't be any demonstration, alright? So, because we have a list of tools and apps for today. If I have to demonstrate everything, we'll finish tomorrow. And then some tools will be mentioned more than once because they have so many things that they can do. And then links will be added in the description after this live session. So you will have to focus with me now. Now, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to like this video, please. Thank you. Now, for boarding tools, let's start with the boarding tools. So the first one is pre-boarding, which means we are marketing our businesses, so we are prospecting. The normal thing we do is to have a chat, talk to our prospects, to our possible clients using calls. So there are apps that can record audio and video calls, and that would be Zoom and also Skype. So these tools can record our conversation with our clients. But there are also some third-party apps there are some apps that we can use to talk to clients, but they don't have any recording feature. So we need to provide or use a third-party app to record it. So you can call clients using WhatsApp and Viber, but you have to have another third-party app to record. Alright, so I have this text-free US app where you can text and call US numbers because they will also be providing you a US number. But take note though that this can only be used when you have a US IP address. So if you have a VPN or a way to change your IP address to a US location, text-free US will be helpful to you. So now for the for the proposals or strategic documents, this is creating the steps or the plan that you will going to submit with your possible clients. So we're going to use Google Docs, MS Word, MS PowerPoint, or Canva. So you don't have to use everything. I'm just suggesting tools here so you can choose which one that suit you best, right? And then client onboarding. So these apps, you're going to use these apps once the client is ready. So he or she said yes to your service. So you need to prepare a contract or an agreement. So that contract or an agreement will be signed digitally, quote unquote digitally. So what you can use with that is sign request or DigiSigner. So I'm suggesting these tools because these are the tools that I used in the past, and I'm currently using sign request. I know that there are a lot of tools out there, but these are the tools that I already use. So for invoice creation, there are Wave apps and PayPal. PayPal is not only a payment platform, but it can also produce or create an invoice so that when the client pays you, it automatically sends on your PayPal account, which is you can withdraw from and transfer that money to your bank account. So let me pause for a while and check the comments to see if everything is working all right. All right. Are we still good? Alright, so next slide will be payment platforms. So these three are the best, not necessarily the best, the most popular, I guess, for Filipinos. But I prefer Payoneer now because the conversion is a little higher and the extra charge is a little lower compared to PayPal. Now, I suggested TransferWise because this is also highly recommended by some friends, but I didn't have the chance to use it because I think my client had a problem with it. So there. Now, for the next apps, we also want to acquire and record business info. This business info are client's information, like for example, full name of client, email, address, contact number. We need these things because we want to make sure that we can immediately contact them if there are some issues that we need to address. So the same thing goes for client. We need to give them our info for recording, but make sure that these information are private, confidential. So you can use that. You can record infos using Google Sheets, MS Excel, Evernote, or Simple Note. Now, Evernote and Simple Note are usually note-taking apps, unlike Excel sheets or unlike Google Sheets or Excel, where there are more complicated apps. So Evernote and Simple Note are simple note-taking apps that you can use on your PC, on your browser, or on your phone. Next is password sharing. Now, maybe there are a lot of apps that can keep your password, but I highly recommend LastPass because this is the one I use. Of course, I will always recommend apps that I usually use. So for post-boarding, meaning before we start the project, everything is done, the payment has been made, the documents have digitally signed. So we are now on a post-boarding process. So the tools that you can use, first of all, is project management. Now, the reason I'm suggesting this is because we want to make sure that everything is organized. So we want to start right. We don't want to misplace any information or any discussion. So everything that you have to do with the client should be, recorded or done inside a project management app. If I've known this when I was starting with my very first client, the project would be, smoother. Anyway, so for the project management apps, you can use, I highly recommend FreeCamp because aside from project management, it also has a time tracker, it has discussion or forum like chats, and it also has password. You can also keep passwords there, and of course the popularly known apps like Trello and Asana. So for Bitrix 24, I put it here because aside from having a project management app or capabilities, Bitrix 24 is actually a CRM, meaning customer relation management. Every information of your client or your client's client can be stored in this platform. Alright. So next is documentation. Now, why we need documentation? So for example, the client knows what he or she needs with the project. So, but he needs to explain it, and video screen sharing or probably taking some screenshot is easier to do than just, emailing it or recording it in an audio form. So you can use the following apps for documentation. So Cloud App, I'm suggesting this because it can capture not only images but also video, and you can also create GIF in this, and you can store those screen recordings on the cloud. Next is LightShot, which is also popular. I think this is Chrome extension if I remember it right. And there is also Screen Press. This was suggested by, I think, a fellow member from another course. So it can also video record. And of course, if you didn't know it yet, MS Word, PowerPoint, and Excel has the ability to capture some screenshots. Alright? So if you already have that, you can use those instead. And then there is also Loom, which is a video screen recording as well, and Zoom. Alright. So let me pause for a while and check for the comments and see if everything is working. I just don't want to have more technical problems again. And let me take a deep breath and drink some water. Is everything working good? Please type in. Alright. Next is, sorry, I clicked the wrong button again. Alright, so we'll start with Oh, but before I continue, of course, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. So we're going to share some tools for general virtual assistants. So general virtual assistant normally has many responsibilities. So I won't be able to share all the apps that a general VA can use. So I'll be sharing what I remember and as much as I can. So there. So the apps that we can use for tracking and calendar. So usually if we're new to the industry, we usually track our hours first because we want to check how long we do a task. We finish a task from start to finish. How long do we do that? So if we need a time tracker, I highly suggest Toggle. There are paid accounts for this, but you can use Toggle for free, and that would be enough. And the next thing is calendar booking, meaning you are creating a page where clients can book a call with you, and the same thing goes for your client's client. So for example, they need your client is a coach and he or she gives one-on-one coaching. So you give them a link, and that link will be a page where they can book a call. So what you can use for that are Calendly. This is the one I'm using right now, and I'm suggesting another like Callbird and You Can Book Me because I used this in the past and it's also free, but I realize I prefer Calendly, right? So I am suggesting another app, but this is probably more of a manual thing, but this is very popular. So Google Calendar, you can also use that, but the one you'll be sending the link to won't be able to select a certain time, I think, because the one who created it will already be setting up the date and the time. So there. Am I making sense? Anyway, next is learning management system. Sorry. So learning management system is for online courses. So there's Thinkific. That's a tongue twister. Anyway, Thinkific, Teachable, Udemy, Evando, Kajabi, and LearnDash. Now these, I'm not sure how the limited features of free accounts, but you can check that out. For example, your market are online course creators. So you have to familiarize yourself with these tools because these are some of the popular online course platform, right? Next is presentation. So if the sorry, I need to breathe. So you can use MS PowerPoint for this or Google Slides if you want it online, and then Keynote, Canva, and Prezi, and also mind maps. So I use, well, except for Keynote. Keynote is for Mac users, by the way. So there, I think I use all of it because depending on the preference of the client. So you can select one here for presentations. Now, for PDF editor, these are the tools that you can use. So PDF Exchange is a downloadable app that you can use on your computer without the internet. Now, the next two are online apps, PDF Escape and PDF Candy. If you will check PDF Candy, it has many features and it's free, so check it out later. Now, for creating giveaways or contests, you can use Gleam or Raffle Capture. Then, for form creation, for example, you are acquiring feedback or surveys. So you can use Google Forms for that. Normally, we suggest that. And then chat form and also Responster. Now, Responser is, I think, unpopular, but I think it was years ago when I searched for a sort of survey form that is more attractive, and I saw Responster and it was good. It was good. That's why I'm suggesting it to you now. Now, for audio to text conversion. So for example, you have a meeting. So you recorded the conversation. So you want to convert that conversation to a text because of course you want to have to document it. Or for example, you recorded for example, I recorded a video content and I want to add some transcriptions to it. So you can use these apps, Otter AI or 360 Converter. Again, the links to these apps will be shared in the description after this live session. Now, next is apps for email or writer virtual assistants. So we can use, of course, the very first thing that we need to do when we are a writer is to check the grammar of what we wrote, right? So we can use Grammarly or Hemingway. And then of course Google Docs. Actually, you can use Google Docs. Just write everything that you need to write on Google Docs and Google Docs will have some suggestions like Microsoft Word. Alright? Now for character or word counter, this is an online app that is free. We can use character count online. Then, for title generator or analyzer, we can use SEO Pressor or HubSpot, Cost Schedule, and Advanced Marketing Institute. Check the links in the description after this live session. Now, if for example you're a writer and you want more ideas, you can use Answer the Public and Google Trends for that. Now for email autoresponder, it is also known as email marketing platform. So I'll be sharing with you the top 2 email platform that I use, which is MailerLite. This is the one I'm using now. And MailChimp. This is the first app that I learned. These apps are good for you and your client's business if you are just starting. Now, for email copy templates, you can check out Good Email Copy and check references from there. Now, before I start with the social media virtual assistant tools, I want to check again if everything is working and I have to breathe. Let me know if you're hearing me. Is everything good? Are you seeing me if I'm pausing the slide? Because I forgot to clear out the animations and all. The slides are running. Let me clear it for a while. Okay. Oops, sorry. Where are we again? We are on social media VA tools, right? Okay. So for social media VAs, these are the tools that I highly suggest. So there are many tasks that we do as a media VA. So these are just some tools that you can get familiarized with. So one is when you need to look for stock photos for your posters. So you can use the following apps. Of course, Pixabay, Pexels, and Visual Hunt. Take note though that whenever you download a photo or an image, make sure to check out the attribution rules, because we want to make sure that we're not breaking any rules there, because some photos need to be credited. All right, they are free, but we need to, maybe add some links, or maybe we need to thank someone for creating that photo. So check those attributions. Now, posters creation is normal for social media VAs. So the most popular app that we can use, which is free, is Canva, of course. And then there are other apps like Designer and Snappa that looks like Canva, but Canva is updating regularly. So if Canva is not available, you can check out Designer, Snappa. Now, for removing background, for example, you just want to see the whole body or just the face, so you don't want to include the background of that image, you can use remove.bg or malabi.co. So I've been using remove.bg, so it's really good. So no need for Photoshop skills here. Now for scheduler, which is really normal, which is actually part of our responsibilities as a social media VA. So in order to make things more easier, we can use Buffer and Hootsuite. Now Hootsuite, if the advantage of Hootsuite is that we're able to check mentions and activities inside Hootsuite with all the social media platforms that we have, if we've added them in Hootsuite. Unlike other apps like Buffer, I think we need to check mentions or activities on each platform. I hope that makes sense. So, since we're talking about scheduler, this one is, let's say, another level of scheduling, because it's more automated. When I say more automated, it means that the content are not coming from us, but we're looking for contents related to the topics that we want to share in our social media platforms. So for example, we're running out of content, or we didn't have time to create those contents that we have in our calendar, but we want to make sure that our pages or our accounts are active. So we acquire articles or contents from other people and share that in a social media platforms automatically. So you don't have to research for it. It will just be automatically posted on your pages. So you can use IFTTT, that stands for if then this that. So for example, if I posted on my Facebook personal account with a hashtag of the VA industry, that same post will be posted on an FB page or on my Pinterest account. So depending on, you can set it up. Of course, it won't, you need to set it up first before it automatically posts. So that can happen. So you can, in IFTTT, when you do once, you can multiple that task in other social media platforms. Now, you might not be familiar with this second and third app, but I'm sharing here with you. QUU QU or deliver it are, let me explain how this app works. For example, there are content, there are people who write contents and they share that in different platforms. So QU and Deliver It have access to those articles, for example. So when you create an account inside these apps, you will set it up in a way that you will select which topics you'd like to, be notified. Once they receive an article with your specific topic, they will automatically post it to your social media pages, so you don't need to check them up. I do this sometimes, especially if I wasn't able to create some contents. So feel free to check them out. Oh, again, the links will be shared in the description after this session. So, for Instagram scheduler, since most of the social media scheduler gives us just push notifications, meaning, for example, we use Buffer to schedule a post on Instagram. What we usually do is download the Buffer app, and then when it's time to post on Instagram, Buffer will notify us that it's time to post. That is the usual arrangement for Instagram schedulers, right? So these two apps are apps that can directly post to Instagram. So we don't need to download the scheduling app on our phone. We don't need to get notified. So these apps can post those images directly on your Instagram. Isn't that nice? So you can use, but the thing is, it has a free trial, I think, depending 3 to 7 day trial, I think. So it's a paid one. And that would be Hopper HQ. I didn't have the chance to use it, but I use Gram. Now, disclaimer though, I'm not sure if Gram has new accounts, because I have my account here. I used it years ago and still working up until now. So you might want to check that out, especially if you are into Instagram marketing. So, next, and before we continue again, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Alright. So we're now sharing apps for graphic designers. Now, there are just a few apps that I will share because I'm not a graphic designer. I'm just trying to be one. But this is not really my skill. So I'm sharing an online image editor because Photoshop is a paid app, right? So this live session is, I'm sharing in this live session 99% of the time are free tools. So I'm sharing online image editor that can help or can work as a Photoshop. So you can use Photopea, I'm not so sure how I pronounce this, sorry, and Pixlr. These are online image editor that are free to use. Now, for branding, there are some websites that can guide us with some colors. So we can use Design Seed or Color Hexa. Now, speaking of color, there are sometimes when we choose colors, the app is asking some code. So like hex code or RGB, red, green, blue codes. So you need to convert those things. So you can use a color converter, which is RGB to hex, meaning from color RGB codes to hex code, and from hex code, and vice versa, from hex code to RGB. So there, that's for graphics design apps. So before I go ahead with the video editors, or we only have two sets of apps video editors and YouTube strategies. So let me check again in the comment section if everything is working. And I need to drink some water. Give me 30 seconds. Alright, yay! Now, for video editors, I'm not sure if I'm able to share everything, but these are the tools I'm familiar with because this is the service that I'm offering. So, the apps that we can use, for example, we need stock videos, right? Oh, sorry. Let's start with audio first. Audio means music or sound effects. So, we can use YouTube's audio library and free sound. There are a lot of online resources, but these are the most popular free resources. But make sure to check again the attribution or the copyright ruling of the individual audios so that we won't be, sued or something. And then for the video resources, stock videos, we can use Videvo, that's videvo.net. And if you didn't know it yet, Pixabay and Pexels have stock videos as well. So make sure to check them out. Now, for video editing, for basic editor, since there are different levels of video editing apps, so I'll be sharing maybe a basic editor and an upper level editor, but these are all free, okay? So for basic editor, if you're using Windows, Movie Maker is the app that you can use. And then for Mac, you can use iMovie. Alright? Then if you're creating this, MS PowerPoint is good for AVP creation, meaning audio visual presentation. So it's not really editing, but rather showing photos. Like for example, you're giving a tribute to someone, so you have some slideshow out there. So MS PowerPoint is enough to do that, if you didn't know it. Alright, so for the upper level video editor, there are many apps that you can use, but these are the ones I'm familiar with, and these are also apps that are suggested by fellow video editors. So you can use DaVinci Resolve and Film Express. Now, DaVinci Resolve, I think, requires your computer Windows 10. You should have a Windows 10 operating system. Alright? And Film Express is always updating, so make sure to check that out. And you can only use Film Express when you create an account with them. And it's free actually, and it works. I'm familiar with HitFilm because this is the one I'm using. Because it works like actually a Adobe Premiere Pro. So that's good. That's a good resource already. Now, when you download these apps, you need a large storage because it can make your computer slower, or even the exporting and the video editing process slower, right? Okay, so that's it for the video editing, and we're in the last set of tools. Yay! YouTube strategies, or for YouTube marketers or YouTube managers, these are the tools that you can use. Since YouTube is all about keywords, these are the apps that I will be sharing. So for keyword research, we can use the YouTube search bar because it works like Google actually. So we can use YouTube and Google search bar because once we type something, we notice that there are prediction texts, right? So we can use that as a reference for topics, for video topics there. And also TubeBuddy's Keyword Explorer. These are free, by the way. Ubersuggest and Google Keyword Tour. So the just a special note for those who have clients that has YouTube channel. It's really important that you research first before creating the video, so you can use these tools to help with the topics that people are actually looking for. Now, for third-party tools, meaning these tools can help with monitoring how YouTube videos are working. So aside from YouTube Analytics, there are other third-party apps like TubeBuddy, vidIQ, and Morning Fame. Morning Fame only has 14-day trial, but it's worth it actually, so make sure to check that one out. And I think we're done, so it's time for your questions. If you have questions, let me know. This is the right time. Woohoo! Do you have questions? Let me know. I'll be waiting for your comments. Let me know if you have question. I will just drink some water. You don't have any questions? Alright, while waiting for some of your questions, special mention, by the way, to Che. Thank you for spending time with me, and to Working Pinoy. Can you share with me what's your name, Working Pinoy? Thank you so much for dropping by. And please take note that all the links will be added in the description after this live session, because I need to collate everything first. I forgot to do that earlier. For a question for Working Pinoy, for the video editor softwares, are the videos saved in the cloud or on your computer? They are saved on your computer. Now, they can be uploaded on the cloud depending on your account, I think. But I think they have the ability to secret. they have the ability to upload the videos on the cloud depending on your account, I think. But normally they will be saved on your computer. I hope that makes sense. Working Pinoy, who has a secret name. Are there any more questions? So while waiting, if you still have questions, I want to hear from you. So in the comment section below, make sure to share with me the favorite tool that I've shared with you that you might probably use today or in the near future. How about SEO? What do you mean SEO? Vet Suiko? YouTube is all about keywords. So before recording a video content for your YouTube channel, you have to do the research first, because we want to make sure that the video is entitled with the keywords that people are actually searching for. I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to. I wasn't able to cover all the apps from different niche, because where there are many responsibilities or tasks or positions that you can do online as a service. What are the top 3 apps I personally use for what particular goal? Working Pinoy. What are the top 3 apps that you personally use? Which area? I mean, which tasks? I actually use most of them in the past because I used to be a general VA, so I was able to get familiarized with most of the apps that I shared. But today I'm using, for YouTube, I'm using, I think, all, like TubeBuddy, vidIQ, and I tried Morning Fame as well. So there. Alright, thanks, Vet. Any more questions before we wrap up? Again, thank you so much. But don't forget to hit like if you haven't done so yet. And subscribe, and of course leave. If you have more questions and the session has ended, just enter them in the comment section below. I will answer them later. Alright? Any more questions? Don't forget to share with me what is your favorite tool, or at least what is the tool that you've learned from here that you didn't hear before. Wow. It's 1 hour. Oh my god. I'm live for about an hour. So thank you so much for sticking up with me. Thank you again. If you have more questions, let me know. If you don't have any more questions, just, send a thumbs up, I think. A thumbs up icon. Just to make sure that I was able to answer all the questions you have right now. All right. I think we're good. Thank you so much again. And let's get connected. If you have questions, if there's a way that I can help you, just feel free to send me an email at that's me at conniezabala.com, and visit my website at conniezabala.com. Now I'm planning to revamp my website. That's still working right now. Alright, so thank you so much. I think I will end this live session. Thank you so much. So feel free to watch the rest of the videos that I have here. Next week I will be sharing another video interview with a fellow virtual assistant. She's now a Facebook ad expert. So we'll talk about that next session. I mean next week for another video interview. Thank you, Working Pinoy. Thank you, Vet Suiko. Thank you, Che. As always, yay! Have a great night, and thank you for spending time with me, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye. Let me check if my camera can work. It can't anymore. So thank you again so much. I'm so sorry that my camera doesn't work now. Thank you again. Bye.